Hello and Merry Christmas everyone, my name is Carrie and in today's video I'm switching over the house from fall to Christmas. This video was filmed over 2 weeks ago now, so we have had our decorations up for the entire month of December, but it's just been a crazy time to actually edit this video and get it on here. So let's just go ahead and jump right into it. We are going to start things off in my living room and I'm going to clear out the space for us to put up our tree. And I didn't film the actual decorating of the tree because it's something we like to do with our kids, but currently we have a bit of a rustic vibe going on with our tree with the furry stars, the bells, burlap ribbon, and the galvanized tin ornaments. And we do have our other special ornaments that are a little more sentimental added in as well. And we got this tree from Target a few years back and it's only 6 feet tall, which worked for us in our old house, but our ceilings now are 8 feet and so it just looks so tiny in the space. So we actually propped it up on some boxes and then just covered the base with the tree skirt. Next, I'm going to move over to our entry table and clear off all the fall decorations I had over here and then just give it a good dust and wipe down before I put in our Christmas stuff. And I always like to switch out my candles that I have right here just for whatever season it is, and I just love the scent that it gives off right when you walk in the front door. It's the first thing you smell. And then I also got these vintage style book decorations from Home Goods. They're just hollow books. They're not real. And then I think the Joy Pillow was from there as well. I got that last year. And to top off the look down in this area, I'm going to add this little vintage style ceramic light up tree. This one came from Target. I think it was $15 and they do have a bigger one as well. And then you're going to see me bring things in and move them around and move it around some more, and usually even after I finish filming I end up moving stuff around again and adding stuff, but I just want to leave that in so you could see a little bit of the process. And then I'm also switching my scented pine cones over from this little fall tin that I had over to a really pretty gold glass dish that I got. Actually I got this from an event. It was for centerpieces. It had a really pretty floral arrangement in there. But I thought it was perfect to hold these pine cones. Again, I just love having the scented things right near the door so people walk in, it smells like cinnamon and deliciousness, and just really cozy and welcoming. And then I picked up this 9-foot garland at Target. Actually, it was only $5, so I'm going to go ahead and fluff that, and it actually looks really nice and full, and it did have a pretty realistic look to it for only $5, so I'm pretty happy with this purchase. And then I'm just going to add in these battery-powered LED lights from Hobby Lobby to spruce it up a little bit. I ended up adding in this really pretty ceramic nativity set. It's the only one I have. I really would like some more, but I actually think this looks really nice, especially with the light shining through the back. And then I have the tin angel, which actually used to be our tree topper, but it didn't work out, so now we just use it as regular decor. And then I got this really pretty winter forest candle. It does smell great, but actually I just love the look of it. The glass is so pretty and the design on it, I love it as well. Green's also my favorite color, so I just couldn't live without this one. I had to pick it up. Now I'm just going to move over to our staircase, which I apologize because most of my filming is done at night, which is super dark, and then we don't have any light or even a window either in this stairway, so there's no point in showing you the upper portion really. I will show it once it's all lit up, but it's just so dark, and thankfully this garland actually does light up, so it helps a lot during the holidays for being able to see on the staircase, because eventually we will need to add a light or maybe a window, but definitely a light. Because it's almost unsafe. And I think we got the garland from Lowe's or possibly Home Depot last year. Now, and honestly I keep it pretty simple in here besides the tree. The kids had already put our stockings up, so I just needed to wipe down surfaces and add in a few small touches. I add some picks in and just some little stuff that the kids really like this little dancing reindeer. They just love it, and I know that it's not like the most luxurious, most beautiful Christmas decorations, but I know it's one of those memories that the kids are gonna have. And just like that super nostalgic feeling of like the decorations that we had, which I have a few of those. I actually have some decorations that I put up every year that I used to put up in my house when I was a little girl too. So it's just those memories, and that's what's the most important to me, is creating this magical environment for my kids, and so that it feels festive and happy for them. And I like to let them decorate as well. And my daughter actually really likes to do Christmas crafts, and every holiday really she ends up making her own decorations. And since I filmed this video, she has made a little tree. I think she added in a reindeer. We have their snowmen that you'll see in this video that they made as well with their Mimi, my husband's mother. And so yeah, they just really like to add their little touches, and I think that's really important too. This is their space, and it just makes me happy to see their touch as well. I'm going in with my Dyson V11 Torque, which I've talked about before. I do like that it cleans very well, but for me it's a little heavy. And it's also a bit difficult to keep holding down the trigger. It's actually something I had to like work up the strength to keep doing without it cramping my hand up. And my mother-in-law actually was shopping for a new vacuum, and she was testing mine, and she decided to go with the Tineco, which is very comparable, I think. And I tried that out at her house. That's what she ended up getting for Thanksgiving, and it's much lighter. I also like that it had a light to see what you're picking up. I know Dyson does have another model that has the light feature, which I have not tried that one, but specifically for the Tineco. And then it also had a lock for the trigger. So I'd say if you're older, or maybe you just don't have as much strength, like you have carpal tunnel or some sort of disability, that this model of Dyson would not be the best option. She was also shopping for her mom, so my husband's grandmother, for a new vacuum, and she knew it would just be too heavy for her. So that's just my recommendation. I do like, again, that this is a really high quality vacuum, and it does a great job of picking things up. And I actually cut out a lot of footage here because I also slow vacuumed my rug, which I don't even know how old the rug is. It actually came from my grandparents' house, so who knows how long they had it, but it's a really high quality Turkish rug, and so it's still in great shape. But I hadn't cleaned my floors in almost 2 weeks, which is a pretty long time for me, and I've just been like so busy with work and the kids in school and getting ready for Christmas and all that I haven't even had the time to stay on top of the chores that I normally like to do regularly. But I emptied 2 entire canisters from vacuuming just the main downstairs areas. Now I'm going to clean the walls under this countertop where the bar stools are, because the kids like to put their feet up, and so they get kind of grimy, and then food sometimes spills down or whatever. So I'm using Fabuloso and a microfiber cloth to wipe those down. I'm moving over into our dining room now, which has a bunch of fall decor that I need to put away, and I actually had to buy a new bin to put it all in. So in this video, you're going to see it kind of just hanging out in this room. And yes, we still have the box fort up. It's been almost a year with the fort, but actually my daughter does play in it quite a bit. And I just wanted to show you guys because she comes in here and changes things up. She likes to decorate it, and it's been many things. It's been an airport, it's been the clubhouse, and most recently it's been Wells Fargo, which I think is hilarious because I do go to the bank quite a bit for work. And so she and I were just doing a bunch of bank transactions, and she even makes play money. There was a surprise slit for the money to come out and for me to put my card into. And so even though it's a little bit of an eyesore, especially with my husband's paint job, she just blows my mind with how creative she is. And I don't ever want to stifle that just because of an image I want to portray when people come and visit. And actually, everyone who has come in always comments on how cool the box fort is. So as long as she wants to keep playing in it, I'll let her and I'll keep it up. And it's not something that I can put in another room or outside because we do have a pool out back, and so I can't just let her play freely out there. But on that note, I just want to talk a little bit more about that image that you want to portray and how you think you're perceived by others. And I honestly have my moments where I'm like, why am I even doing this? Why do I have a cleaning channel? I feel like people watch this and they're like, her house looks like crap and she doesn't know how to clean. She doesn't know how to decorate. And so I'm just being honest with my insecurities here. I don't feel like I'm an expert at home decorating or even an expert at cleaning. I don't have the budget to go all out and buy a ton of decorations to dress my house to the nines. I have to space out my large purchases like furniture to fill the house. And I think to myself when I watch some of these other YouTube channels, like, how do they have not only the budget to buy all this stuff and like also keep their kids out of these beautiful tablescapes? Like my kids would mess all that up. It would end up all over the house. But also the space. You have to have the space and the capacity to store this as well. And so, like, sometimes I even go into a store with a budget and I'll walk out with nothing because I'm so overwhelmed with all the options. I can't see a clear vision in my head when I can only buy a piece here and a piece there. And so maybe that's something that I need to change is when I go shopping to save up and so I can do like a whole space and buy a bunch of things and have a bigger budget. But I guess I'm just a little impatient. So if you ever feel like your house doesn't look like the big channels on YouTube or Pinterest, then just know that you're not alone. And the most important thing is that you have a loving home. And so when I feel super insecure and have those identity crisis moments where I think to myself, what am I even good at? I remember that my number one priority is my family and my passion is being a homemaker. And so if I'm not good at anything else in life, I want to be good at that. I want to be good at being a wife and a mom to my family while they're with me because I know firsthand that life is very fragile. And I mentioned that my Christmas decorations this year are not super sophisticated, but I know my kids are going to still look back fondly on how special I made this house feel and the holiday feel for them. And that's what's most important to me. For the table, I have this log candle holder and have this lamb's ear garland that I keep here all year round and just kind of dress it up depending on the season. And I'm fixing the chairs because if you ever walk into your dining room and feel like something's just off, it could be the chairs and the table and the distance from the chairs to the table. So you actually don't want to push them all the way in. And a good rule of thumb to follow is to have about a forearm space from the table to the back of the chair. And there's actually a term for it that they use in events, and I can't remember what it is. I think it's French. So if you know, drop it down below. And now I'm going to move over to this antique desk that we have, and I'm going to give it a good wipe down with some wood oil. And then I brought over these picks from Home Goods and put them in a mason jar. I'll give you a little close up here shortly, but they have like a dewy look and some red berries in there. And then I'm also going to put these wooden snowshoes over on the wall. I moved that sign. I'm going to move it over into the kitchen. And then while I was doing that, my daughter was adding her own little touches to our dining room table, and she put these battery-powered candles on each end and our Christmas salt and pepper shakers, and I think it actually rounded out the table very nicely. I'm moving upstairs into the hallway now, and this is one of those pieces that is super nostalgic for me and that I had in my house growing up, and my mom gave it to me for my home, and that's our December advent calendar. These were actually really big in the 80s and 90s, so let me know if this looks familiar at all to you. I put it in the hallway because we have this blank space on the wall, and the kids just love walking out of their room every morning and moving the bear. I'm running out of Christmas decorations to put in my house, so one of the last rooms I'm going to decorate is our downstairs bathroom, and please excuse the terrible color on the walls, but I've mentioned how our entire house needs a paint job. But I'm putting these light up Christmas trees on top of the cabinet and adding this little wooden sign and snowman. And actually, after I filmed this, I went to a work event and someone gifted me a little gingerbread diffuser, which first of all smells really good. And then the wooden sticks have little gingerbread men at the top, so it's really cute too. And so I ended up moving the snowman upstairs to my kids' room and adding the diffuser here. There was glitter everywhere in this room from my frosted picks, so I'm going to give it a good vacuum, and then the following day I'm just adding a few last minute touches. I'm putting this hanging decoration on our bathroom door, and I'm fully aware that my green hanger does not match my door. Again, I'm not perfect, but this actually used to be on our front door, which was green, and our current front door is too tight. It won't shut properly with the hanger on without damaging the door frame, so I put it in here because I think it's a nice touch. And I was just sick of this blank wall in the kitchen and had to move that one sign from the dining room. So I decided to put that over here and take a few pieces that I had around the house already and fill it up. And the previous owner used to have a huge photo collage here. So there were already some nails and holes left behind. And I'm just working with what's already in the wall instead of making more holes. Because once we do paint, we're going to fill all the holes and start fresh. So this is just temporary. Okay, so this is super temporary because we're going to end up painting, and I'm going to be really intentional with what I put on the walls after we fix them and repaint and all that. And this is just kind of what I had to work with, and this wall has been empty and blank for so long, and it is a big space. But it's right off the living room, and the kitchen is right here as well. So I just kind of wanted to put some stuff on there. This galvanized tin gather sign, that's from Hobby Lobby, and it totally just blends in with the paint color. So it's really unfortunate because I do like the tin look, but I do think that I am going to be going with a gray color on the walls, and so that's really not going to have enough contrast, so I might not be able to use that. Or maybe I could spray paint it. Oh, that's a really good idea. I just had an epiphany. Okay, I want to spray paint this black, and I'm going to spray paint that too. Yeah, I think that's a good idea because it just kind of blends in. Eventually, I would like to, when we do the kitchen, we want to turn that, well, we'll get all new cabinetry, but full height there, uppers, lowers, and like maybe a drink fridge and like a little bar slash, not really a butler's pantry, but kind of, you know, like a little extra space. Maybe we could put our coffee over there, or yeah, just a nice little counter space. We don't really use this table unless we have people over. That's the only thing. I do like the seating, because sometimes we'll like put the kids at this table and the adults will be in the dining room. And we do have the bar stools over in the living room. Just a couple other last minute touches in this room. I'm adding the ceramic music box that plays Silent Night in the dining room. I also have since added a candle, and then I'm changing out my painting, putting this La Catrina painting up in the stairway, and then I'm bringing down this red floral painting just to kind of bring all the red together and make it feel a little more finished. So I just want to show you this finished look here, and this is the end of the video. So if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I hope you and your family have a super happy holiday and a happy new year. Hello everyone, and Merry Christmas Eve. I know I can't be the only one that needs to give the house a good shakedown this morning before company comes over or the holiday mess is brought in, so grab a cup of coffee or tea and let's tackle our messes together. The first thing I actually needed to do was wrap a few last minute gifts before my husband got home, so I'm going to do that real quick and then put away the wrapping paper. So full disclosure, I've had my Halloween and fall decorations sitting here since I took them down. And I just needed to buy a bin to put it away in, and I just kept putting it off, and now that I have people coming over, it's really just lighting the fire for me to get this taken care of. So I want to start by wrapping up the skulls. I didn't want them to get dirt or anything in the glitter that's in the eyes, and so I'm just wrapping that up, and I'm going to take it over by the garage to be put away. And also, please ignore this cabinet here, which needs to be chopped up and thrown away. I need to get my husband to clean out some electronic stuff that's in here so I can just get rid of it. And it is from Walmart if you're curious, and this just goes to show you what living with kids and cheap furniture looks like, but I digress. My family actually celebrates Christmas on Christmas Eve, and so yesterday I filmed this. I just wanted to get ready for today, and then we always spend Christmas Day with my husband's side of the family. I guess I'm missing the footage from cleaning my entertainment center off, but I wanted to show you guys this awesome find I found at the Target dollar spot. I rarely get lucky in that section, but I found this super cute ceramic lantern, I think it was over the weekend, for only $5, and I opted for the white color with the snowflake design, but they also had a black with I think deer, and then a dark green color with trees, which I loved equally as much, but I do have darker furniture, so I opted for the white for a little bit of contrast. But I just love the way it lights up when you put a little tea light inside, and you could also put in some pics if you wanted instead. So I was just really happy to find this piece. But as I mentioned, I do have family coming over, so I wanted to vacuum the couches and dust and wipe down surfaces, because not only did I want it to be clean, but also my sister and her entire family are allergic to cats, and as you saw my cat in the beginning, I just wanted to get all the extra fur and dander off the areas where they're going to be sitting. After vacuuming, I'm going to give my couches a good spritz of Odoban fabric disinfectant and deodorizer. I love this stuff. If you can find it, definitely get it for your fabrics and upholstered surfaces. I think Febreze just came out with one too, so I might try that one next time depending on what they have in store. Next, I'm moving into the kitchen, and I just needed to clean off and wipe down the countertops and do the dishes so I could clean out the sink. I have mentioned this before that we do have a dishwasher, but it's the one that came with the house when we bought it last year, and honestly it's really gross and I just didn't want to deal with cleaning it. So I was used to washing dishes before because we didn't have a dishwasher before either, and so I just continued to do it by hand. And then after wiping down the counters, I need to vacuum under this bar area, which is primarily where the kids eat, and you can tell by all the crumbs and nastiness that falls down this way. I'm using Barkeeper's Friends to clean out my sink, which is my favorite powder cleanser for porcelain sinks and actually for many areas around my house, including the tubs and showers. But if you have any stubborn stains on your porcelain sinks and you haven't tried this, definitely give it a try. So, as I mentioned, my family has always celebrated Christmas on Christmas Eve ever since I was born, and we are Mexican. My mom's side is Mexican, and I know a lot of other Mexican families celebrate on Christmas Eve, as well as some other cultures, of course, but that's our tradition. And then we always like to go and look at Christmas lights since we are doing it on Christmas Eve night. Before we open presents, and I'm super excited to take my family around our neighborhood tonight because they go all out for all the holidays, actually, like insane light shows, and the whole block will be lit up. So I'm really excited to just experience that through the kids' eyes. That's the best thing about having kids, is that it might not be as exciting to you anymore, but you can live it again through them and seeing how excited they get. So I'm just really excited to do that. And we always take some hot cocoa or some coffee and take a little drive before we all settle in and start opening those gifts. But I'd love to know what Christmas traditions you have with your family. So let me know down below. Also, I was just watching that shot over again, and I wanted to tell you a funny story. You may have noticed that there was only one cushion on the chairs, and I had taken all the cushions off. I had them on for a while, but I took them off because the kids are so messy. They were just like getting filthy, and I was getting sick of washing them. So I took them off. We haven't had them on for a while. And I mentioned before, we don't sit here that often, but my daughter, I made her sit at the table, and she was saying it's so uncomfortable. So I got her cushion, and she's like the princess and the pea. She's so funny. So that's why there was only one cushion on one of the chairs. I should probably go add the rest before company comes over. I'm in my dining room now, and I'm just tidying this up a bit and going to vacuum the seats because the cat hangs out in here sometimes, but we probably won't eat in here. We're not going to do a fancy sit-down dinner. We're just going to have some appetizers and keep it pretty casual, but we might play games in here because we love to play board games, and right now we love Sushi Go Party. And we always love a good Trivial Pursuit or Cards Against Humanity game, but let me know some of your favorite board games down below because we are always looking to try out something new. And I highly recommend Sushi Go Party if you haven't played it yet. It's really fun, but it always makes us crave sushi, so just watch out for that. Don't play it hungry. And then as far as our menu, we're all just contributing an appetizer or two. My mom is bringing beef Wellington bites and cheese fondue. We are making deviled eggs and sausage stuffed mushrooms. And then my sister's bringing lobster sliders and pumpkin fluff for dessert. And I think my brother said he's bringing crab dip and some veggies. So we'll just kind of snack throughout the afternoon and night on that. And on Christmas Day, growing up, I always would celebrate with my dad's side of the family. My dad has passed away. He passed away, I think almost 12 years ago now. And his mom and father as well have passed away. They all passed away pretty young, unfortunately. So we don't get to celebrate with them, but I have this really fond memory of having Christmas dinner at my grandma's house, and they are mostly English and Eastern European, and so they would have like the traditional roast or roast beast, as my grandma would call it, the Yorkshire pudding and veggies and potatoes. And so I like to make that when I do host Christmas dinner or if we have it here at my house. But actually this year we're going to my sister-in-law's, and I'm really excited because she has a really cool house and she's making like a big Italian meal. And I love pasta, so I'm super excited for that. But let me know down below what's on your menu because I'm always looking for new ideas, and hopefully you got some inspiration for next year from me. Not proud of this, but this is my office and I have been running on fumes, so I have not been able to clean in here for like an entire month. But my family does come in here to drop their purses or coats or whatever, so I just wanted to make sure it was semi-presentable. But I can't wait to redo this room and get rid of this awful silver paint job and just make it my office. But part of the problem with that and starting that project is that I am incredibly indecisive and I don't know what I want. So I'm marinating on the decisions for paint and all that. I hope you were able to get some motivation from this video today, and I just hope that you have an awesome holiday and a happy new year. Thank you so much for watching this video and hanging with me this year. If you've already subscribed, thank you so much. And if you haven't, I would love to have you. And don't forget to give this video a like if you made it this far. Merry Christmas, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!